Okay, so you want to get a grip on the latest smartphone tech, but maybe without drowning in all the specs, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for that smart fast track to figuring out what's actually new and important for 2025.
Exactly. Consider this your curated tour. We're drawing on some really sharp analysis.
We are. We're diving into James Pearson's article, Technology Pick Your Winner 2025 Smartphone Lineup. It was in the Wisconsin Lawyer.
And Pearson, he knows his stuff, runs the computer center, Microsoft Certified Pro, basically the go-to guy for tech, cybersecurity, all that.
Right. And this isn't just his first take. It's the 11th year he's done this smartphone summary for the State Bar of Wisconsin.
Huh?
And it's based on an actual survey of lawyers there. So it's grounded in, real-world use.
Definitely. So our mission here is pretty simple. Pull out the key insights, the stuff that really matters for you from this report.
Yeah, we're hitting AI integration, battery life, will actually last the day.
Performance, storage needs, screen specs, all the big ones.
And we'll focus on maybe the surprising bits, the stuff that might actually influence your choice for 2025.
Okay, let's jump in then.
First thing, this really jumped out at me. You hear so much about AI, right?
Constantly.
But in Pearson's survey, not one lawyer said AI was a vital feature for their next phone. Zero.
Isn't that something? It really makes you pause and think, like, is the industry hype matching what, professional users actually need day to day?
Exactly. Maybe things like, does it work reliably? Is it secure? Are those still more important than the fancy AI tricks?
Seems like it, at least for this group. Fundamentals still rule, perhaps.
And speaking of fundamentals, the survey showed iPhones are still way out front.
Yeah, the dominance continues.
72% using iOS versus just 28% on Android. It's a pretty stark split.
It really underscores Apple's ecosystem strength, doesn't it? That loyalty.
Totally.
Now, within that Android slice, Samsung's the leader, no surprise there.
Right.
Followed by Google's Pixel phones, and then Motorola. Though Pearson did note Motorola's share seems to have dipped a bit among this crowd.
Interesting. And here's another thing. These lawyers, they seem pretty content with their current phones.
They do, yeah.
Like an average satisfaction rating of 4.3 out of 5, that's quite high.
It is. And connects to the next point.
Get this, 68%, so more than two-thirds, keep their phones for more than 3 years.
3 years. In the smartphone world, that feels like forever, right?
It really does. It makes you wonder, what's the trigger? What finally pushes them to upgrade if they're generally happy?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Reliability. Battery finally giving out.
Maybe. Pearson also touched on carriers. Verizon and AT&T are the top dogs there.
Though satisfaction wasn't quite as high as with the phones themselves.
Yeah, and the reasons for switching carriers. Pretty basic stuff.
Hmm.
Coverage, data plan value, and speed. The essentials.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears. Performance and battery life. The stuff that, really hits you every day.
Right. Pearson notes the obvious expectation. New phones should be faster, last longer. Especially if you're upgrading from something, say, 3, 4, 5 years old.
And Apple gives a concrete example using their comparison tool.
Oh, yeah.
They benchmark against the iPhone 12. Upgrading to an iPhone 16 or 16 Plus, they're talking potentially 5 extra hours of video playback.
5 hours. That's significant.
And maybe up to a 60% boost in overall performance. They even claim these new ones could run twice as fast as the 12.
Wow. Okay, that's a noticeable jump. What about the Android side?
Well, the Pixel 9 Pro is making noise about its battery, specifically this extreme battery saver mode.
Right, I saw that, the 100-hour claim.
Yeah, potentially 100 hours. But, and it's a big but, that involves disabling things like 5G.
So it lasts forever, but is it still a fully useful smartphone at that point? That's the trade-off, I guess.
Exactly. It's always a balance. Looking at Samsung, their numbers are interesting too.
So
The Z Flip 6, the flip phone, gets about 66 hours of audio playback, 23 hours of video. But the Z Fold 6, the bigger folding one, actually gets more audio, 77 hours. Video's probably less, though.
Oh, interesting. And the standard S24?
The S24 sits kind of in the middle. 72 hours audio, 28 hours video, so variations even within one brand.
Good to know. Okay, let's talk storage, that digital attic space we all keep filling up.
Well, is running out, right? Pearson mentions the typical range now is 128 gigabytes up to 512. That's pretty standard.
Yeah, seems about right for most flagships.
But if you need serious space, the Pixel 9 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 are the ones offering a full terabyte option.
A whole terabyte in your pocket. Wow.
It's a lot, but worth noting, Samsung's Z Flip 6 maxes out at 512 gigs.
Okay.
And the standard Galaxy S24 offers just 128 or 256, so gotta check the specific model.
And over in the Apple camp, is the terabyte option common?
Only on the Pro models for the iPhone 16 line. The regular 16 and 16 Plus still top out at 512 gigs.
Gotcha. So it seems like manufacturers are still kind of pushing us towards cloud storage for the really big stuff.
Yeah, that seems to be the strategy. Balance local and cloud. It's a trend that's likely sticking around.
Makes sense. Okay, screens. Pearson puts it, well, it's about finding what fits your use case, right? And how that affects battery.
Definitely. And the foldables immediately grab your attention if you want more screen.
Like that Pixel 9 Pro Fold.
Exactly. It boasts an 8-inch inner display. That's the biggest one Pearson calls out. Like a mini tablet.
Wow. And the Samsung Z Flip 6? That unfolds too.
It's still pretty decent, 6.7 inches, quite usable.
So how does that compare to the biggest non-folding phone?
That would be the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max, coming in at 6.9 inches. So pretty close, actually.
Right. And for people who want something more pocketable.
Then you're looking at the Galaxy S24 at 6.2 inches, or the iPhone 16 at 6.1 inches, more traditional sizes.
Right. And the smallest screen overall.
Technically, it's the cover display on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, just 3.4 inches. For quick glances, presumably.
Huh. Interesting range. Okay, the big one. AI, artificial intelligence. Pearson says this is a huge shift for 2025, right?
Yeah.
All the players are pushing it hard.
Oh, yeah. It's everywhere in the marketing now. Apple's framing it as AI for the rest of us.
Meaning more practical stuff.
Seems like it. They're talking up Siri, getting much smarter, handling multiple commands, understanding language better.
Okay.
Things like one-tap dictation, recording and transcribing voice notes, even transcribing calls, and just being generally more helpful, more personalized.
And Apple's big push is privacy with this, isn't it?
Absolutely. Pearson really highlights this. Apple's stating that they can't even access your data when these AI features run.
How are they managing that?
Through something called private cloud compute. Basically, processing sensitive stuff on their own secure servers, not just on your device, but still keeping it private from them. And they're giving users the option to hook into ChatGPT, but only if you explicitly say yes, you control it.
That control seems key. What's Google doing with Gemini AI in the Pixels?
Google's aiming for deep integration across their apps. Think Gmail, Maps, using AI for things like creating images right within an app, searching by just circling something on your screen, that snap and circle thing.
Oh, right.
Plus photo editing tricks and a Gemini live chat feature for more back and forth help.
And security. Pixels usually make a point of that.
Yep. The Pixel 9 Pro packs their Titan M2 security chip, uses machine learning to spot threats, has face unlock, and even a built-in VPN. Pretty robust.
Okay, and Samsung, their Galaxy AI.
Sounds quite versatile, too. The standout feature seems to be real-time translation for calls and chats.
That could be huge for some people.
Totally. Pearson mentions how the Z Flip 6 could even show simultaneous translation on both its screens. Imagine putting it between two people speaking different languages.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They also have AI for photo editing, like Google, and for helping organize notes.
And Samsung's security angle.
They're pushing their Knox platform.
Right.
Strong encryption, a secure Knox Vault area, and something called Knox Matrix for device protection. Security is definitely a major focus alongside AI.
Makes sense. Okay, so boiling it all down, Pearson offers some top picks based on different needs, yeah?
He does. If battery life is absolutely your #1 priority.
Let me guess. The Pixel 9 Pro.
You got it. With that potential 100-hour extreme saver mode, it's the one highlighted for longevity.
Okay. What about budget? Someone not looking to spend top dollar.
The Motorola Edge 2024 gets a mention there, priced around $599, more accessible.
Good option. Cameras. Always a big one.
Apple's iPhone 16 gets props for its dual camera system, that 48MP main sensor. And interestingly, the Motorola Moto G 5G 2024 is also mentioned for its camera setup.
Okay. Security focus.
If that's paramount.
2 recommendations there.
Yeah.
The iPhone 16 series, leveraging iOS's strengths and app vetting.
Right.
And the Google Pixel 9 series with those timely updates and the Titan M chip.
Makes sense. Screen size, we touched on this, but the biggest overall.
That's the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold with its 8-inch inner screen.
And the smallest main screen, not counting cover displays. That'd be the standard iPhone 16 at 6.1 inches. Though, yeah, the Z Fold 6 cover display is technically the tiniest at 3.4 inches.
Gotcha. And finally, storage monsters, the 1 TB options.
That's the Google Pixel 9 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6.
And Apple.
The iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max models also hit that 1 TB mark. So options across the board if you need maximum space.
Okay. Now, what was Pearson's final take on AI, since it was hard to rate?
Yeah, he found it tricky because real-world user feedback is still limited. His advice was basically, don't let AI be the sole reason you switch operating systems right now.
Interesting.
And he observed that Apple seems to consistently prioritize data protection, maybe even if it means they aren't always first out the gate with every single new tech trend.
A different philosophy, perhaps. So, wrapping this up, what's the big picture for 2025 smartphones?
Well, it's clear there are advancements everywhere. AI is definitely part of the mix now, integrated across the board.
But maybe not the ultimate deciding factor for most people just yet.
Seems that way based on the survey, yeah. Things like battery, performance, storage, screen size, those fundamentals are still hugely important.
And there are strong options from Apple, Google, Samsung, even Motorola, hitting those key points.
Definitely lots of choice.
Okay, here's a final thought for you listening. Think about the one aspect that's most critical for your daily phone use.
Like what's your non-negotiable?
Exactly. Is it battery that just won't quit? Is it massive storage? A perfect screen experience? Or that rock-solid security?
Focusing on that single top priority, maybe that simplifies the decision.
Could be. In a world with so many features, maybe focusing on your core need is the way to cut through the noise for your next upgrade.
Good way to think about it.
Yeah.
And if you want all the detailed specs, Pearson links to the manufacturer sites in his article.
Right. And for more from James Pearson himself, you can check out thelawyersgeek.com or computer-center.com.